Hello students, in the last video you have seen what do you mean by conductance and what are the specific type of conductance called as specific conductance, equivalent conductance and molar conductance. In this particular video we'll see the procedure for experimental verification or the experimental measurement of the various types of this conductivity values. Now when we will go across the complete procedure, you will come to know about various related terms like Wheatstone bridge method, what is conductivity cell, what do you mean by electrolysis, what is the concept of polarization effect and so on. Okay, so to make it more clear to you, let us move ahead. Conductance is the reciprocal of resistance, right? So if you need to find out the value of conductance, what you can simply do is we can find out the value of resistance. And that value of resistance can be found out with the help of Wheatstone bridge method, which is as in the adjoining figure. Now what is happening here? You're considering a 4-arm containing the resistances R1, R2, R3 and R4, right? R1 of them is the variable resistance. What do you mean by variable resistance? You can adjust the values of those resistance, right? R2 is the unknown resistance whose value you need to find out. Now what you're going to do, the variable resistance is adjusted up to that point whereby you can observe a null point in the galvanometer which is present here at the center in the circuit. Okay, what do you mean by null point deflection within the galvanometer? See, as per Ohm's law, current through conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across it, right? Now, if there is no potential difference, what will happen? There will be no flow of current. Yes or no? And that point is called as the null deflection in the galvanometer. Is it clear? So what you are going to do is you are going to adjust the variable resistance R1 up to the point till the null point is obtained within the galvanometer. As soon as that point is obtained, what you are next going to do is you will apply this formula. R1 upon R2 is equal to R3 upon R4. So R1 variable resistance will be known to you from the resistance box. R2 the unknown resistance which you need to find out. R3 and R4 values are already known to you. So you are in a position to calculate the value of R2. Okay. However, there is a different concept when we want to find out the resistance of the solution of an electrolyte. Let us see how can you work out for that. For finding the resistance of solution of an electrolyte, a special type of cell has to be used such that the solution is present between the two electrodes, and that cell is called as conductivity cell. Okay, so this is the conductivity cell as you can see in the adjoining figure. Now how this conductivity cell is made? It is made up of a Pyrex glass. Pyrex glass is a specific type of glass, okay, a special type of glass whereby it does not has its own conductivity or own resistivity. So we are taking help of this particular Pyrex glass. Within this Pyrex glass, we are introducing two platinum electrodes at a fixed distance apart from each other. Right? Now in this particular case, the most serious problem which has been observed is in the measurement of the resistance and definitely hence in the measurement of the conductance of the solution of an electrolyte. Where is your electrolytic solution whose value you need to find out? This is the electrolytic solution present within the beaker whereby the conductivity cell has been immersed. Okay. Now what is the problem associated here? See, if you are using a direct current, what was happening in Wheatstone bridge method, as we have seen earlier, we were taking help of direct current. However, when we take help of direct current, it results in electrolysis of the solution. What do you mean by electrolysis of the solution? In simple terms, I can say electrolysis is decomposition. So DC, decomposition. Okay. So if you consider water as a solvent and you are passing an electric current through water, it will have tendency to decompose into constituent elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, or in the other sense we can say, if you are talking about an electrolytic solution, then we can say oxidation reduction reaction takes place within the system due to the existence of DC current. Okay, so you need to avoid that. You do not want that electrolysis should take place. What will happen if the electrolysis takes place? The concentration of the electrolyte near the particular electrode will change, right? And as a result, definitely there will be a change in the resistance of the solution, right? And this change in resistance of the solution due to certain parameters or due to electrolysis is termed as polarization effect. I hope the concept is clear. What do you mean by polarization effect? Okay, so what can you do to overcome this problem? Instead of DC current, we can take help of alternating current, AC current. So we take alternating current here in the audio frequency range of 550 to 5000 cycles per second. Okay, however, when the alternating current is used, the ordinary galvanometer which we were using in Wheatstone bridge method cannot be applied. So it fails. Why it cannot be applied? Because galvanometer is not able to detect the null point accurately in presence of AC current. So instead of galvanometer, now we need to replace it by an earphone. You can see the earphone within this figure, right? So instead of galvanometer, we are taking an earphone here. The other thing we can do is to minimize the polarization effect. Electrodes which are taken, the platinum electrodes, need to be coated with platinum black. What do you mean by coating with platinum black? That is a finely divided, so you can see the lower portion of this electrodes, right? So here a finely divided platinum is deposited on this electrodes. So this is your electrode and a finely divided platinum has been deposited on this electrodes with the help of electrolytic procedure, right? Which helps to minimize the polarization effects as well. That means the concentration at the electrode surface is not going to change of that particular electrolytic solution whose value you need to find out. Is it okay? So let us try to summarize what we have done for calculating the conductance or the resistance of an electrolytic solution. So what all are the changes we have done? Instead of direct current source, we have replaced it by AC current source. We next replace the galvanometer by an earphone. Then the electrodes of the cell are coated freshly with platinum black before use. Okay, so the complete assembly for the measurement of the electrolytic conductance. Let us move there. As you can see in the figure, there is a particular resistance which you can adjust with the help of an resistance box here, right? So a suitable value of the resistance R is introduced from this standard resistance box. How much value you need to introduce? It will depend on the sliding contact. So what you're going to do is with the help of a jockey, you can see the jockey here, with the help of a jockey, you will slide the contact across the stretched wire AC. Okay? At up to what point you need to stretch it or up to what point you need to slide it across this wire till the sound in the earphone is reduced to minimum. As we have seen earlier in galvanometer case, we were finding out the null point deflection within the galvanometer. So here in case of earphone, you have to find out that point whereby the sound in the earphone is reduced to a very minimum, right? Say that point is D as shown here. Okay, so as soon as it approaches this particular point D, what is the next step? You are in a position to calculate the unknown resistance of the electrolytic solution. Which is the unknown resistance of the electrolytic solution? This is the resistance, that is X, whose value you need to find out, which is connected to the conductivity cell immersed in the electrolytic solution. Okay, so as soon as you get the value, what you're going to do next is your variable resistance R divided by unknown resistance X, that is equal to resistance of wire, or not resistance, basically you can say length of the wire AD divided by length of your CD. Okay, you have to simply introduce all the parameters within this and you will be in a position to find out the value for the resistance of the unknown parameter. Okay, and if you know the value of unknown resistance X, then you can definitely find out the value for conductance. How can you calculate the value for conductance? Conductance is equal to 1 upon X. Is it okay? So that is about a pure measurement of electrolytic conductance. How can you proceed with an experimental procedure? Now let us find out how can you calculate the specific conductivity. Specific conductivity or simply conductivity is given by this particular expression, that is K, specific conductance, is equal to C into L upon A, where C is the conductance of the solution, which you have already seen how to find out, right? Then on that terms, what you can say, specific conductivity of a solution can be determined by measuring its conductance and the distance L between the electrodes and the area of cross section of each of the electrode. Okay, so if you talk about this particular term, that is L upon A, can I say it is a constant term? Yes, it is a constant term. Why? Because for a particular conductivity cell which we are taking for calculating the experimental measurement of electrolytic conductance, there will be a specific distance between electrodes given by L, and also the area of cross section of each of the electrodes will be a constant value. So in general, I can say L by is a constant. Okay, so now I can say specific conductance is what? Specific conductance K is equal to conductance into cell constant. Cell constant means L upon A. Okay, so thus if you are aware of the cell constant of any particular cell, then you are in a position to calculate the specific conductivity of that related solution. Okay. Further, for measurement of equivalent conductivity, we know equivalent conductivity, lambda equivalent, is equal to K into 1000 divided by C equivalent, right? What is K here? K is the specific conductivity, which you have already known how to find it out experimentally. Further, what is C equivalent? It is the concentration of solution in gram equivalents per liter. When I say in gram equivalents per liter, that means it is basically the normality of the solution. Okay. Thus, knowing the normality of the solution and the specific conductivity related to that solution, you are in a position to calculate the value for equivalent conductivity. Then again, we are left with the molar conductivity. Now, the molar conductivity, lambda m, is related to the specific conductivity as this way, K into 1000 divided by Cm. What is Cm here? Cm is the molar concentration. Okay, so if you are aware of the molar concentration of that electrolytic solution and the specific conductivity related to the solution, then you are in a position to calculate the molar conductivity. Is it okay? Now, one more thing I'd like to specify here. If you want to be very particular, very accurate about the measurement of the conductance of the solution under study, then what you can do is, the solutions which you are preparing should be prepared in a specially purified water whose own conductance is very small. Such water is known as conductivity water. So it is always better to take help of this conductivity water for preparation of your solutions whenever you are performing an experimental procedure for finding out the conductance. Okay, or if you are not having a conductivity water, alternatively what you can do is, you can find out the resistance of the electrolyte, right? You can find out the resistance of the water which is used for preparing the solution, and then you can just subtract that resistance of water from the resistance of the electrolyte used for making the solution, right? And then you will be in a position to get the exact resistance of the solution. Is it okay? I hope the complete concept about experimental determination of different types of conductances is very much clear to you. Okay, that's an important topic. Be ready with it. Thank you for watching.